Hi everybody. Today we are going to talk about something really important. I have had a lot of you girls ask me this question. So again, I just jump right in. I don't wait for people to get on. So we're just going to jump right in. So this is a very common question that I get. So you're talking with somebody, a potential distributor, maybe it's a customer, maybe it's a friend, whoever it is, and you've given them all the information. You say, okay, great, I'm going to email you something, I'm going to send you a YouTube video, I'm going to add you to this page, whatever it is. Well, then what? You're kind of just waiting for them. So today we're going to talk about what the next step is to get them to commit, to help them become a distributor. So without further ado, I would like to welcome a special guest today, which is my husband. This is Tyler. Say hi to all the ladies.
Hi, ladies.
So Tyler's going to help answer this question. This is his area of expertise. Like, he is the man and knows all about this kind of stuff. So I'm just going to let him, well, will you just tell us a little bit about what you do?
So I am the director of sales for a software development company here in Utah. And my entire adult career has been around sales, whether I was actually a sales guy or managing or directing sales environments. I've done trainings all over North America, primarily in the real estate space, but sales trainings to all kinds of industries. And I like to think that I'm pretty good at what I do. Our sales department has broken records every single year and almost every single month for the past 7 years. And so we're doing well. So I do like to think that I know a little bit. So
awesome. Okay, so again, this is the issue that a lot of people have, and I have the same issue. I've given the information, and then they don't ever respond. Or I'll say, all right, do you have any questions? No, I'm good. Or I'm still thinking about it. So teach us, tell us, what should we be doing?
So I think the biggest thing to understand first is that we are salespeople, that we are selling SeneGence, we're selling the products, we're selling the opportunity. And I know that a lot of people probably don't identify as a salesperson. Like, that's not what you think of yourself as a salesperson.
Well, and I said that in a video I just did. I don't necessarily think of myself as a salesperson.
Yeah, you said that we're marketers and educators.
Yes.
So that's actually a common misconception in the world, is that salespeople are slimy and vile, and that they're silver-tongued, and that they manipulate you into doing something that you don't want to do. And I think that when you say we're not salespeople, that's probably what you're thinking.
Yes.
Of. That we're not pushy, that we're not trying to manipulate people. A great salesperson is an educator. They are a marketer. What they do is they try to bring value to somebody's life. And you do that by believing in the products, right, which we certainly do.
Yes.
But you believe in your products, and you believe in the opportunity that SeneGence offers to somebody as a business person. And ultimately, what they're looking for in the opportunity is important as well. And so making money isn't the opportunity, right? That's certainly a plus. But that's not the opportunity. The opportunity is what that allows people to do. And so as you're having these conversations with these potential distributors, it helps for you to understand, and you're really good at this. You always ask people, what is it that you're trying to do? Do you just want the discounts? Do you want to run a business? Why do you want to run a business? And that helps understanding if somebody wants to get out of debt, or build a dream home, or buy a condo in Miami, or whatever it is. That's the opportunity. The money that people will make, and the sales skills and the leadership skills and the friendships that they build along the way doing this as a distributor, those are just stepping stones to that opportunity. And so
can I jump in real quick?
Yes.
I want to make sure our video is not sideways, because for some reason all the words are sideways.
I'm pretty sure.
Is it right, guys? Are we doing this right? I mean, I've done enough to know how to do this, but usually the words are not sideways. We're just going to hope. If it is, say something.
I could talk like this.
Be like, you're sideways. There.
Oh, it is
sideways. I knew it.
Shoot.
Okay. We're gonna fix this.
Try to figure that out?
Yep.
I told my wife this was my first live video.
He's done a bajillion trainings, but for some reason,
try to tip it up and then
this is the first live Facebook video. There's our window.
Well, maybe we just have to do it vertically.
Okay.
That's okay. Just prop it up like that.
Okay. All right. You keep talking. Doesn't work like that. Doesn't go up that high.
Let me see here.
Oh, we can clip it onto here.
Okay.
Okay. We know what we're doing.
Every good business experiences technical difficulties.
There.
Right?
Okay,
there we go. Now we just have to sit closer
really,
together.
Really close together. Smash our faces together.
The question that we're trying to address is that so often as distributors, we've sent out information to our potential distributors, people who are interested and they've reached out, and we've sent a YouTube video or the potential distributor packet, and then Jen's getting this question a lot. Now what? How do I further that conversation? And what you're going to do is we were just talking about being a salesperson. What you're really trying to do is provide value for somebody, and that's what we're going to talk about here for just a minute. Now, in order to really overcome that, it actually starts sooner than that. So I'm going to do this in two parts, if that's okay. I want to talk about in the future, as you communicate with these new distributors or potential distributors, excuse me, how to avoid getting into that situation where you're going, now what? What do I do next? And then we'll talk about for the people that are in that situation currently. Is that okay?
Great, yeah.
So it begins even before that moment. Is when somebody reaches out to you and they say, hey, I'm interested in becoming a new distributor, and I'd like some information. In that moment, you have a very great position of power, right? And because they're coming to you, they're asking for you to provide value to them. And so you're going to send a YouTube video, or you're going to add them to a group page, or whatever it is that you're going to do. There are many different resources that are out there. Maybe it's simply a phone call where you answer questions. But whatever it is, you send that information off to them, and right here you're in a really, really crucial position of power, because what you want to do is you want to create a realistic expectation for the person. You want to set the expectation for them that you're going to follow up, that you're going to reach back out to them, you're going to ask questions and answer questions and help progress it forward. And so when someone reaches out and says, I'm interested, you say, great, no problem, let me send you this information, this YouTube video or the new distributor packet, and I'll let you look at it for a few days, and then why don't we plan to talk on either Thursday or Friday? And so what you do, and what I did there is I presented two options for them to say, yeah, let's talk on either Thursday or Friday, rather than saying, and then we can talk later in the week, when is good for you. What you do is you give them two options. It's called a no option no. You don't give them the option to say no to what you're asking them. And so what you do is you say, well, can we talk on Thursday or can we talk on Friday? And what they do is they're going to go, Thursday. And you're going to respond by saying, great, is morning or afternoon better for you? Again, you're going to give them two options. And they're going to say, afternoon. Great, 2:30 or 4:30. Those are times that I have available. And you're going to be able to set a specific time. Now, you have to follow up at that time. That's so crucial. But what you're doing in that moment is you're setting the expectation that you are going to follow up, that you are going to continue the conversation to progress them towards becoming a distributor. And you're doing that before you get to the point where you go, now what do I do, right? Because now you know what to do. You're going to follow up at 4:30 on Thursday afternoon.
Can I jump in real quick? I had a girl one time who was approaching me about a business opportunity, and she kept asking me, oh, did you get a chance to watch this video? Did you watch it? And I kept saying, no, 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 no. And then she finally did this approach. She said, okay, I'm going to call you tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, and we're going to talk about this video. Will you watch it by tomorrow night? And I said, okay. So you better believe, but right before 6 o'clock, it was like 5 o'clock, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to watch that video. I felt obligated to do it, so I did it, but it worked, and it was something really interesting. So this technique really does work.
Get them to make a commitment so that you can continue the conversation. Now, at that point, Thursday at 4:30, when that time comes around, you have to follow up. And Jen does this so well, and it's one of the reasons why her business has grown so fast in such a short amount of time, is because all of the potential distributors that we're working with, she has them on a sheet of paper or in a notebook or has them somewhere written down, and she knows here's the name, a little bit about them. She knows what she sent to them and when she spoke to them, and she knows what her next step is, and that's so crucial. The statistic is that 87% of salespeople don't follow up after a first conversation.
Oh, that's crazy.
Which means you're certainly not going to get the sale if that's the case. And so you're going to follow up at 4:30, and your conversation is going to go something like this. You're going to reach out to them, and you want to have it verbally. Let me just interrupt myself here. You want, as often as possible, to have that conversation verbally. Because
so you mean like over the phone?
Either over the phone or face-to-face.
Or FaceTime.
Or FaceTime, right? But have it verbally, because then you have a dialogue with the person, and when you ask a question, they feel obligated to answer that, and that progresses the conversation forward. But when you're doing something through email or text or Facebook messaging, it's so hard because you can't read their tonality. You can't tell if they're excited or not. Yeah. Which is why I text Jen in all caps when I'm excited, so she knows I'm excited, right? And so it's important to have this conversation verbally as often as possible. But this conversation is going to go something like this. Hey, I sent you the YouTube video. I hope that you had a chance to watch it. What I want to do is answer any questions that you have before we sign you up as a distributor.
Ooh, I like that.
Okay, now here's what that does, is instead of just saying, do you have any questions? Because if they say no to that, if they go, no, I don't have any questions, then you're like, what's next, right? And so what you've done is by using a statement like that, by saying, I want to answer any questions you have before we sign you up, it sets the expectation for them that your intention is to sign them up as a distributor, right? You're not just having a dialogue. You're not just educating them. You're educating with the intent to help them bring better value to their life by becoming a SeneGence distributor. Then you're going to answer any questions that they have. And as you communicate with somebody verbally, there's a natural flow in the conversation, right? I pause, and then it's your turn to talk, and vice versa. And eventually there's a point in that conversation where you're going to go, great, let's go ahead and get you signed up as a distributor. It only takes us a few minutes to do that.
So would you recommend doing it right then?
I would, yeah.
That's what I do.
And I tell all of my salespeople, I say the person that you're talking to right now is the most opportune person who's going to buy from you, right? And as soon as you hang up the phone with them, their desire and their passion and their fire and their excitement begins to fade ever so slightly, minute by minute. Yeah. And so you want to, while they're in the moment, you want to help them make that commitment so that they sign up. So whether you do that, I know I've seen you do that to people where you log in and sign up for them over the phone, or you walk them through it, or Jen and I have a document that we send to some people and gives specific instructions. However you do it, you want to try to do it on the phone with them or in person so that they make that commitment. Show genuine excitement the whole time, right? Talk about how excited you are for them.
Definitely.
Let them know that you're going to provide the support that they need, and be honest about that. Don't tell them that you're going to do something that you don't plan to do. That will certainly ruin the opportunity for the two of you to work together.
Can I jump in real quick again? I talked about this in my video yesterday, how excitement is key. That's what's going to get them going, and that's what's going to keep that fire. They're going to sign up and they're going to be laying in bed thinking about like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. This is so exciting. So again, the video yesterday, keep the excitement. I think that's really key. That
is hugely important through the whole conversation. The truth is we communicate a lot with our tonality and with our body language, and another reason why text and email just doesn't work well. But as you show that excitement in your voice and in your face and in your posture, right? All of that makes a huge difference and an influence on them, and so that is important to keep the excitement. And so again, in order to avoid the position where you're going, what do I do next, right? In order to avoid that, you want to set the expectation early in the conversation by saying, I'm going to send you this information. Then we plan to talk on this day at this time, where I'll answer questions and we'll get you signed up as a distributor. When that time comes.
I don't say if you have questions, I say when you have questions. They should have questions. If you are giving them the right information, they should have questions. Some people have a lot of questions, and that's great. It's girls that sign up that don't have any questions that I honestly worry about, because I think you should have questions. So I say when you have questions, we'll talk about it.
And make sure that you can answer those questions, right? So if you're not educated enough, get your upline involved.
Yes.
Get on a conference call or go have lunch together where you can do that.
I do a lot of three-way calls. Like the three of us will all talk,
and that's crucial. The last thing that you want to do is try to fake it, because as you provide inaccurate information, which we've done by mistake, and everybody's done that, right? It hurts your business, and so you want to be able to provide the right information. And sometimes that means going, I don't know the answer to that. And Jen's awesome at this. She'll be like, I don't know, right? But I'll find out for you, and that builds credibility for her and her downline. That builds respect, and they end up working together really well. So now let me talk about the girls that are in this situation.
Yes,
right?
Because I've been in this situation. I think a lot of us have been in this situation, or we currently are in this situation.
So I'm going to go back to what I said a few minutes ago. One of the things that Jen does really, really well is she knows who she's working with, and she knows what steps she's taken. And I can't tell you in the past several months as Jen's been in the business how many notebooks she's gone through. I mean,
I'm old school. I do notebooks still.
But she'll fill every page. She'll fill the front and back cover with stuff, and that's so crucial to your business to know what's going on and to maintain knowledge, because you've at times been working with 20 girls at once, and you can't maintain all that information. So keep track of who you've worked with. Keep track of how they found you. Keep track of the things that you've sent to them.
And keep track of who they are. When you're working with 20 girls, I'll say, her son just had a birthday, her husband does this, like we talked about how beautiful her hair was, just so I have something to relate with her next time. I'd be like, hey, your family was sick last week, how are you doing? Or just to build that personal relationship. So that's important in note taking too.
Right, and that's, in sales we call that building rapport, right? We want to establish a relationship of trust with people, and people like it when things are remembered about them. So when Jen calls and says, oh, your family was sick, right? People enjoy that. And so she's good at keeping those notes so that she can do that later.
I just can't remember all the things in my brain, so I have to write it all down.
So once you're in that situation, and some of you are there right now with one or more girls, where you're going, I sent them the YouTube video, I added them to the group page, now what? What you have to do is the first step that you have to take is you have to follow up. That's so crucial. Is they probably won't reach out to you. Sometimes they will, and that's awesome. But you can't build a sustainable business on sometimes, right? What you want to do is you want to make sure that you are doing everything that you can to be in control of your business and ultimately your paycheck. And so the first thing that you have to do is you do have to reach back out to them. This can be a text message or an email where you say, hey, I know I sent you this a couple of days ago. I plan to follow up with you. Is Thursday or Friday better for you? Right? So you could have that conversation where you schedule an appointment via email or text, and that's okay. But again, once that time comes, you want to have a verbal conversation as much as possible. FaceTime.
We keep getting further and further back.
I know. It's we're lounging. I'm sorry. It's crucial that you set that appointment and then have that conversation verbally. And it's not going to be much different than the previous situation that we talked about where you did set the expectation before. But you're going to begin that conversation again. So it's going to go something like, hey, Jen, I appreciate you taking the time so that we can talk again. I hope that you had a chance to watch the video or look at the packet or whatever you sent to them. What questions do you have before we go ahead and get you signed up as a distributor? And so you're going to ask the same question. It's no different. The hard part in being in this situation where you're going, what do I do next, is simply taking action. Money is made in execution, right? I've got lots of ideas that I never execute on, and so they never become a reality. But the ideas that we do execute on, those are the ones that improve your life and allow you to take risk and create opportunity and have reward. And so you have to take that step. And sometimes it's nerve-wracking. Yeah, sometimes it's scary. Sometimes to talk to a total stranger on the other side of the country, or maybe they have a very different background than you, and you may not have a lot in common. That's a little bit frightening. But the truth is,
even talking to your friends sometimes, that's even a scary thing to try to get them to commit.
Mm-hmm. It is. Now, the truth is that's okay, and everyone feels that way, and it's okay that you feel that way. It's okay that you're a little bit uncomfortable, but the truth is, think about when you were a child and you were growing and you had growing pains and that's uncomfortable. Growth is uncomfortable, and that's the truth. Growth is uncomfortable, and that's okay. So it's okay that you feel that way, but make sure that you do reach out to them. Make sure that you're genuine. Make sure that you show your excitement, right? Yeah. And then you're going to ask that crucial question. I know that or use that crucial statement. I know that I sent you this information a few days ago. I hope you had a chance to look at it. I want to answer any questions that you have before we set you up as a distributor. Again, you're setting the expectation that at the end of this conversation, I'm signing you up. That's the purpose of this phone call. And once you take that step, you'll find that a lot of your conversations will pick up and continue again. And people have things in their lives where they go, oh, I didn't get a chance to watch the video, or I didn't get a chance to look at that. My kid got sick, or I had to take my kid to college, or whatever it was, right? That's okay. You're not asking if they had a chance to watch it. You're saying, I hope you had a chance to watch it. Let me answer any questions that you have before setting you up as a distributor, before we sign you up. Does that help? Do you think that'll help some of these girls?
Yeah, that's great.
Now, there's a lot of times where you're going to have that conversation, and they're going to give you objections. They're going to say things like, well, I don't know, or oh, I still need to think about it. And again, as a salesperson, we're trying to provide value. We want to educate them to provide value. And when somebody says that to you, when somebody says something like, I just don't know, or I still want to think about it, or I need to talk to so-and-so, right? I need to talk to my husband or my wife or my spouse or my whatever, right?
I'll keep thinking about it. I hear that a lot. Like, oh, I'm just going to keep thinking about it for a little while.
Right? And that's okay. The truth is 40% of the population won't make a decision unless their hand is held through the process. And if they're telling you that they don't know, or they're telling you that they need to think about it, it's because there's something that they want to think about it, right? That's not just an excuse. It's just that they're not willing to tell you what it is. And so an easy way to continue the conversation, because the last thing you want to do is go, okay, well, think about it and then call me. Because again, the most likely person to sign up is the person you're talking to on the phone right now. So you don't want to let them off the phone without giving it the very best that you have. And so you could say something like, I totally understand where you're coming from. I'm sure you have a really good reason for wanting to think about it. Do you mind if I ask what that is? And simply ask what's keeping them from signing up. And what you'll find is people open up. People talk to you. They go, oh, well, I have this and this and this in my life. Or here's the reason why I'm not that I'm being prevented from signing up. And that's an easy thing to talk about then. And sometimes they're legitimate things that you may have a hard time saying, yeah, you should sign up right now. And sometimes there are things that are super simple, like, I just don't understand how I make money. Right? That's an easy thing. I can teach you that. And I think that you'll find more often than not, they are really simple things that are preventing people from being signed up. And people, once they know, like, and trust you, and you hold their hand through that process if necessary, they are more inclined to become a distributor and begin their business.
So you have to ask the right questions just to kind of
correct
feel them out.
And he or she who asks the questions controls the conversation. And you want to be in control of the conversation, not to manipulate somebody into doing something that they don't want to do, but rather to guide the conversation so that they see the value that the opportunity or the product provides. And so as you're going through that process, you're asking those questions, and you're not asking just to ask a question. You're legitimately asking, what's keeping you from signing up? Let me help you come to an understanding. Yeah. Let me help educate you on why that shouldn't be an issue, or how we overcome that in this business.
Yeah.
And you'll find that more often than not, people are ready and willing to give you the information that you need in order to build the right value, so that they want to become a distributor and want to become a great distributor. Right? We have lots of distributors who've never done anything, but we have
a lot that have never done anything?
I'm sorry. We have a few, but we have a lot that have done really great things because they've been educated, because they've been excited, and because Jen's taken them through the process to help them see the value of reaching the opportunities that they have, or that they want to have. So, what else? We talked about a few things before the video, but I can't remember anything else that we talked about. Some of the things that someone might say.
I'm trying to remember. I don't know. I rely on your memory a lot, so that's why we're married, right? You have somebody who you can rely on.
The truth is, we are salespeople, and you're not selling product, right?
Well, we are selling product,
but you're selling beauty to someone, right? You're selling something to them that helps them to feel self-confident, to help them feel beautiful. You're selling something to them in the opportunity to get out of debt, or buy a new car, or whatever it is, right? Those are the things that people want. They don't want makeup, right? They want to look beautiful and feel beautiful. And as you educate them on our products, they'll come to find that they can do this better with SeneGence than with anybody else.
I do agree with that. Did anybody have any questions? I'm going to kind of scroll through and see, but if you have any questions, now is the time. What is wrong with our phone? Goodness.
No, it won't move for us.
Yeah, well, if you have any questions, you need to ask now, because I can't scroll back up, so re-ask. But yeah, I've learned that following through is huge. If there are people, and I've done this in the past, where I've said, all right, well, just get back to me. That's what I did in the beginning. All right, well, let me know if you have any questions. I would never hear back from those people again. And I learned very quickly, do you want to read if there are any comments? I learned very quickly that those people will just slip through the cracks. It's like the video yesterday I talked about. If you had a handful of gold you know the value of that gold. And I said, like with my 4-year-olds, if I handed them a handful of gold, they wouldn't know the value in that. Like they'd set it down on the ground and keep playing with their cars. We have this gold in our hands. We need to teach people what we have, and they will want it. We need to inspire them. We need to educate them. But I really do agree that you need to ask the right questions. So, sorry.
I totally agree. And asking the right questions is the key to a really good salesperson. Now, it's the difference between a really good salesperson and a great salesperson is asking the right questions. One of the things that I teach my salespeople is something that I call creative listening, and we often talk about listening and how crucial that is. This goes for relationships. This goes for business transactions. But what you're really trying to listen for is what somebody really, really wants, right? So if I go into Home Depot and I try to buy a drill, I don't want a drill, right? I want the result of what I can do with that drill. And some people might go, oh yeah, you want to drill a hole. Well, no, I want to hang a picture, right? I want for my home to have pictures of my family, right? And so as you ask the right questions, people will disclose to you what it is that they're really trying to accomplish. And so if you're asking, hey, what do you want to get out of this business? And they go, I want to make a lot of money. Well, duh, that's what we all want, right? We want to be successful in this. But what is it that we want? What's the opportunity that we're trying to create for ourselves? Is it to get out of debt, or is it to pay off our house, or is it to send our kids to college or pay for braces or whatever it is, right? And asking the right questions is key. If you listen to a fantastic salesperson, the majority of the conversation, the majority of their side of the conversation is asking questions and listening to what the prospect is saying. So ask lots of questions. Find out what they want to do with their business. Find out if they just want a discount on the products or if they really want to build something and why.
I always ask that. I say, are you just in this for the personal discount? Which if you are, that's great. That's how I started it. Do you want to just focus on sales, or do you want to build a team and an empire and grow this to something huge? And that might change. In the beginning, it might just be the personal discount. It might just be the sales, and then they see the opportunity. It can change. So with your girls that you're working with, you want to continuously check in. I mean, not all the time, but every now and then. But yeah, those are 3 very key important questions I feel like you should be asking in the beginning to a potential person, potential distributor.
Awesome.
So
this is why I married her.
That's why. There's a reason.
Okay, anything else?
I don't think so. Any questions? Not that we can see them right now, but we can answer them in the comments.
We'll get in and go into the comments later and respond.
So, all right. Well, thank you girls for watching. I will continue I have lots of other trainings, just everything I learned at seminar. I think one of the next one is going to be about social media and how to use it. I learned so many things. I learned a lot of things that I was doing wrong. Not wrong, but that I could be doing better about algorithms and just amazing, amazing things. So that's going to be one of the next ones. See, I can't do a video without fumbling over my words. That's going to be one of the next ones. Anyways, yeah, thank you for joining us, and thank you for all of your insight. So get your families involved. They talked about this at seminar. This isn't my business. I never refer to this as my business. This is our business. This is something that we are creating. And your businesses will go 100 times smoother and better and more successful if you involve your spouse, if you involve your children, if you involve your mom or your friends or whoever it is that you have that close, tight-knit relationship with. Involve them and make it a family business, because that's what's going to help you. So anyways, all right, we are going to end this. Thanks guys. Have a good day.